The 2023 wedding season is right around the corner, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what is in my wedding photography contract for 2023. And with that, let's get inside because it is freezing out here. Whew. I have left a link for you to this contract in the description box below. Now let's get right into it. Okay, we're going to start off right over here. Bride's name, address, contact telephone number. Groom's name, address, contact telephone number. This is important here. When you are going to your wedding, you may start off over at the groom, then you may have to meet the bride over at a different hotel or the venue or whatnot. So you want to make sure that even before you leave, you definitely have their contact telephone numbers just in case. So that is important right there for you. Let's go right over here, section 1. A summary of the contract. The photographer is responsible for providing the client a photographic service and products as detailed in section 2. The client undertakes to engage the photographer for this coverage for the price as detailed in section 3. Pretty straightforward. The photographer, section 2, this is going to be you right here, and the client will get to section 3 in a moment. Now let's get to section 2 over here, the coverage. Again, pretty straightforward here. This is going to detail the day, what they're signing up for, and the pricing and everything. Coverage will be provided by the photographer as follows: the wedding date, coverage to commence at and coverage to finish at, wedding location, reception location, other locations where coverage is required, engagement session to be included, yes or no, engagement session location, product package included in the coverage, and the price. As you can see right over here, I do offer added photo boxes 4x6 and 5x7. I did put them in the contract to start. I like that there because I can order it ahead of time. And over here we have total price, wedding packages, and add-ons. So this is pretty straightforward right over here for the coverage. Now let's get into section 3. This is probably Section 3 and Section 4 are definitely going to be your two most important parts of this contract right here. So, Section 3, payment arrangements. The client will pay the photographer a total fee of blank, subject to the following terms: a blank deposit to secure the date and payable on the execution of this agreement. This deposit is non-refundable or transferable in the event of a cancellation, it being the agreed loss suffered by the photographer due to cancellation. Payment of the balance of blank is due 2 weeks, 14 days prior to the wedding. Cancellation less than 12 weeks before the date of the wedding will require a payment in full. All cancellations must be in writing. The cancellation conditions above will apply for the postponed weddings if the photographer is not able to reschedule for the new date and time. The fee for postponed weddings is subject to change. So let's just run over this a little bit here. This is so important. First off, we're going to skip over the top here. Your deposit to secure the date and payable on the execution of this agreement. This deposit is non-refundable or transferable in the event of cancellation. I cannot stress this enough. Do not, under any circumstance, jump off of this right here. Sometimes a wedding might be 6 months in advance, a year in advance, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, you have this on your books. This is set for you. This is what you're looking forward to pay your bills in the future. Sometimes things happen. I get that. Sometimes a bride and groom might break up and they might cancel their wedding. Okay? There's nothing you can do about that. All vendors at a wedding have this same in here. Be it a photo booth, be it a videographer, be it the venue. Cancellation, you're out your deposit. So as bad as you feel, you can't let a bride and groom kind of, I'm not going to say sucker you into getting their money back, but make you feel bad about it, okay? You have to stand your ground on this. And over here is another very important part. Payment of the balance of blank is due 14 days, 2 weeks prior to the wedding. I've had instances before. I remember when I first started, you might be scheduled till 11 o'clock. When 11 o'clock hits, you pack up and you go to get your final balance from the bride or groom. Sometimes they don't have the cash on them. Sometimes they left it back at their hotel. Sometimes they're running around saying goodbye to everybody and whatnot, and they're just not going to leave that to go get your balance. okay? And I've sat there sometimes for half an hour, 45 minutes just waiting for that. Sometimes bride and groom had a little bit too much to drink or whatnot, and you know, they weren't in the condition to get you your money or whatnot. So yeah, you got to get this 2 weeks prior. This way you're paid in full. When it's 11 o'clock and you have to leave, then you can just leave. You don't have to worry about getting that final payment. It could get a little hectic at the end of the night, and rightly so. I mean, you're getting 100, 150 people coming up to the bride and groom saying goodbye, and again, they're just not going to walk away and go get you your check. They have to sit there with everybody. So do that 14 days prior. You're going to save yourselves a lot of time and a lot of headaches. Now, Section 4, the copyright. Again, this is huge. Let's take our time through it. The entire copyright of the photographs is retained by the photographer at all times throughout the world. Where a USB disc or link of photographs has been provided to the bride and groom as part of their wedding collection, the photographs may be printed and displayed online for personal but not commercial use. The photographer retains the right in all cases to use the photographs in any manner, at any time, and in any part of the world for the purposes of advertising or otherwise promoting his work. Pretty much what this says right here is you as the photographer can do whatever you want with these photos. You can post them online, you can advertise for them, you can sell them, you can do whatever you want with them, okay? But the client cannot. The client can get these printed for themselves. They can display them online for themselves, but they can't take your photograph and go out and sell that photograph anywhere. Okay, very, very important right there. Now, sometimes you might do a wedding and they don't want you to use these for advertisement. Sometimes you might do a military wedding, which I do a lot of, and they don't want these out online or whatnot. No problem at all. You just hop on there, you cross that out, you initial it and all. There are circumstances where you will change this a little bit. But in general, you own the copyright to everything. Don't let anybody else have. Once you snap that shutter, it's yours. Okay, Section 5 over here. Image, size, color, style, and composition. All sizes are approximate. The photographer will provide a pleasing color balance, but cannot guarantee exact color matching. It is sometimes not possible to record on film or in print exact colors as seen by the human eye. There is no right to reject on the basis of style or composition. The final post-production and editing styles, effects, and overall look of the images are left to the discretion of your business right there. Okay, so that's pretty much straightforward. Number 6 over here, kind of important here with, you know, the way things have been the last couple years and all, your attendance. I've never had to miss anything, thank God, but, you know, in the unlikely event the photographer is unable to complete the coverage due to unforeseen circumstances, the photographer reserves the right to appoint another photographer to attend on his behalf to undertake the photography. If the situation should occur and a suitable replacement is not found, responsibility and liability is limited to the return of all payments received for the events. So yeah, always have a backup. Maybe get in touch with a bunch of photographers, create like a little pod of 4, 6, 8, 10 photographers. Hey, who's available this weekend? Who's not available this weekend? Again, just in case you get sick with the way things have been the past couple of years, that's always good as a backup. Number 7 over here, your limitation of liability. In the unlikely event the digital files have been lost, stolen, or destroyed for reasons beyond the photographer's control, or of a total photographic failure, including but not limited to camera, hard drive, or equipment malfunction, the photographer's liability is limited to the return of all payments received for the events. Straightforward. Number 8, meals. Client, wedding couple agrees to provide a meal for your company's name and their employees. 99.9%, I've never had a problem with this. I remember maybe 1 or 2 occasions where I wasn't fed. This was early on. So this was one of the first things that I added into my contract, maybe the first year that I was photographing weddings. So make sure that's in there. Look, personally, I feel that right after bride and groom are served, all vendors should be served as well. This way we don't miss anything. You know, once people are done eating, if we are eating last, we're still eating, and then these people start dancing or they might be doing whatever, we need to be ready for that. That's a different fight for another day, right? Okay, number 9, capture and delivery. Your company's name is not liable to deliver every image taken at the event. The determination of images delivered to the client is left to the discretion of your photography business. Client understands and agrees under no circumstance will raw, unedited, original files be released to the client. Final delivery of edited images approximately 8 to 10 weeks. That's just my business. I'm comfortable at 8 to 10 with the amount of weddings I do a year. That might vary on the amount of weddings that you do. Again, let's just go back to this over here. Client understands and agrees under no circumstance will raw, unedited, original files be released to the client. Do not get off of that, okay? You're not giving them every photo that you took for obvious reasons. Somebody might be blinking, there's blur. It doesn't work that way. Do not get off of that. Two major things you don't want to get off of. The first one that we talked about over there, right up here with, let me run back over to this here. The deposit is non-refundable or transferable in the event of a cancellation. And the second huge major thing is raw, unedited, original files be released to the client. No. Okay. Number 10, final one on here, indemnity. The client shall be responsible for obtaining any and all clearances and will indemnify the photographer against all expenses, damages, claims, and legal costs arising out of any failure to obtain such clearances. Straightforward, guys. This is just protecting you if anything happens during the day. The undersigned have read and understood the above contract and agreed to the terms and conditions in the entirety, and you're going to sign over there. So this is my contract that I use for 2023. I've actually used it for the past couple years. Very rarely will I make adjustments on it. It's pretty much it's my go-to now. I made some adjustments over the years and I really got it to where I really like it right now. If you want to take anything from here, great. Maybe just change a few things around and put it in your own words. But this actually works here for me. So again, I'm leaving a link to this contract in the description below, and I really hope this helps you out and really moves you guys forward into 2023. If you have any questions about this contract, please do me a favor, just hop down in the comments section below. I will get to everybody's questions that you have about it, and good luck this year coming up.